most men never reach the success they desire, no matter what they already have in terms of relationships, families, jobs, or businesses. They are rarely ever pleased with it. Only a minority of them are able to sustain their initial velocity and eventually establish themselves.
Very, very hard.
Why? To put it simply, accepting certain uncomfortable truths is the first step toward a more peaceful existence. We all know that these truths and realities are indeed very true despite society's resistance to acknowledge them. So let's talk about them now that you've accepted the hard reality of life as a guy. You can't move forward unless you face the truth you've been trying to avoid.
What's the truth?
You can only feel secure and purpose-driven by journeying down that risky, dreary road, especially when it comes to dating. In the history of mankind, no one has ever thought things through rationally before making a serious vow. They're doomed to always feel miserable as a result of their partner's actions.
I feel miserable.
The question then becomes, what happens? Both the wife and the husband endure wretched lives. The dating world is no exception to the rule that ignorance and unawareness will cost you dearly. So, let's examine 6 hard truths that all men should know. If you've been on the receiving end of bad luck in the dating department, accepting these truths will help you move forward and improve your life.
I'm not the last one.
No matter how much you try to ignore them, you won't be able to change the reality that they exist. The fact that a man's potential life partner is likely to be carrying significant emotional baggage is the primary argument in favor of the MGTOW option. The dating and relationship experiences of many people are deeply personal. Of course, dating involves more than simply two individuals desiring one another's bodies. Because it is such an intimate and emotional experience, the two are revealing a lot more and accepting one another's emotional baggage.
I love you.
Prior worries and expectations, including traumas, mood swings, likes and dislikes, phobias, aspirations, objectives, and wants, are required. On the other side, taking things personally can hinder you from uncovering critical details. Sometimes a spouse carries their past with them, and you may observe traces of that past in their actions, thinking processes, and ordinary dialogues. It's important to remember that your partner may be harboring hurts from their past that you're not aware of.
Little secrets. Everybody has secrets. Yeah.
Don't hold yourself liable if your partner behaves inappropriately. Instead, take a minute to analyze your actions and how it can affect your relationship. Many men continuously fail to grasp this concept. They mistakenly believe they are on the wrong side of the argument, and as a result, they push women away unnecessarily when trying to diffuse tense situations by clinging to them too tightly. So, while picking one or dealing with a girl's behavioral changes, it's important to remember to consider both her history and her present. 2. Most people lie about themselves, especially in modern dating, which is why men should avoid settling down and instead follow the MGTOW path.
I lied.
This unfortunate reality is often lost on those who are new to the modern dating scene. You'd be astonished at how many individuals misrepresent their age or appearance on sleazy dating apps like Bumble and Tinder. Some people post images taken by others in an effort to make their own look better. If you're unlucky in love, you can meet a liar and learn that the person you thought you were dating is actually a middle-aged woman who has nothing in common with the image you had of her.
Liar! You are a liar.
If they lie to you easily in the beginning of the relationship, you shouldn't waste your time trying to keep things going. As they become more comfortable with you, imagine what else they might accomplish. Remember that there are occasions when deeds must be spoken for. Keep your cool, accept reality, and move on with grace.
I'm cool.
The third factor why more and more men go their separate ways is that dating is more difficult than it once was. There are a plethora of factors to think about. The old saying that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take is right. This is valid in many parts of your life, including dating. Most guys believe they can meet women by coincidence. The fundamental issue is that they don't think for themselves and instead exist in a world straight out of a movie.
Is making a movie about my life.
You're already at a disadvantage if you don't actively cultivate a successful dating life. Of course, you shouldn't hurry into a marriage or major commitment. To begin, you should focus on bettering yourself. You need to know exactly what you're looking for in a partner and how far you're willing to go, or let her go, to get it.
I will love you until the end of time.
People who have the potential for long-term relationships often fail because they haven't done their due diligence on themselves. They don't consider the attributes they need to develop or the ones they seek in a spouse. Put together a list of your non-negotiable values and utilize it as the foundation of your relationship. Begin to improve yourself in order to attract quality and meaningful ladies. Remember that anything you put out into the world will come back to you, magnified tenfold.
And good will come back to you.
Create a high-value lifestyle as a result to make her want to adopt yours, and you will have more opportunities with girls, and they will find you even more seductive if you have the intention to better yourself. Guys should not date and instead join MGTOW because, fourthly, men who have their own ambitions for their lives are often pushed by society to do what it needs them to do. Here's what I mean. Young men can ask questions on many different websites, including, "I have never been in a committed relationship and I'm 23 years old. Is it too late for me to make a difference?" These sentiments are shared by a large number of male students and young men nowadays. They never seem to be able to catch their breath as they try to get through their daily tasks. These ideas are nothing more than the subliminal training that people in society give you. To keep up with social norms, you should have a job, a place to live, a car, and a girlfriend. If you don't fit into society's timeline, it is nearly a guarantee that you will suffer a sense of being left behind.
I don't fit in.
If you let this kind of thought deter you from achieving your actual potential, you will never be successful. Being late is such a silly concept. It's only another way of begging with a society that doesn't give a damn for you to be allowed to live the life you want. You have such strong confidence in yourself that you don't need approval from anyone, least of all today's society.
Believe in me, as I believed in you.
You could always attain your life's aspirations. You must learn to function without asking for permission. If you don't take action, your life will never improve. The key is to quit procrastinating and start doing immediately.
All right, fatty, I will do it.
It makes no difference if you're a man of 40 who's just gotten divorced or a man of 24 who's never even met a woman. Not much will get done if you sit back and assume it's too late to do anything about your situation. Regrettably, young males are disproportionately affected by this social issue. Older men seem to be more patient, but they believe that their time is running out in their 20s.
Determined, patient.
A man's peak years do not begin until he is 30 or older, yet a man should strive for success with women since it is great. Take care of yourself and realize that the best way to enjoy your 30s is to keep becoming better as you go along. Putting your life in order, generating income, and moving closer to your goals all occur simultaneously. The fifth argument in favor of MGTOW is that having a significant other tends to limit your growth. You may have tried to approach a woman and had a friend suggest, "Why don't you just ask her out?" In other words, what are you doing? If she is out of your league, you have no chance of getting her.
Have I no chance of ever succeeding?
If you give in to these ideas, they can and will turn you into a victim. You'll start to assume that no one else is attracted to you and that your beauty is insufficient to ever attract someone. You won't recover as long as you wallow in sadness for yourself.
Sad, very sad indeed. Yes.
And even when you do enter into a relationship, you can expect the same sort of treatment by your spouse. First, you need to drop the friend or idea that is holding you back, and then you need to do the polar opposite of what your pals advised. Many people devote their entire lives to blaming others and using the victim card. A victim mentality is one of the worst traits a man may have, since it causes him to put artificial limits on his potential as a result of the acts and words of other people. If you aid them, you're preventing yourself from making progress. Whether you play the victim or not, no one is going to come and save you. Long-term reliance on other people's assistance increases your chances of failure. Being a victim is terrible because of the sense of impunity it provides. In conclusion, these are some of the most critical explanations for why so many men are eschewing romantic commitment and marriage.
I want to get married. I've been saying.
We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we'd love to hear your feedback in the comments section, as well as your likes and subscriptions to the channel.